Well, hi everybody, I'm back. And today we have a sponsor. Our sponsor today is Mark Welpley, and he is doing clean cut deer processing. He's the owner, Mark Welpley, and he's up in Bitely, Michigan. His phone number is 231-287-5596. So if you need deer processing next year, does a really good job. He does a lot of it. So there's his card. You can see where he is. And this is what he gave me to cook today. So we have venison backstrap. From what he tells me, this came off of a farm, a deer farm up north. So this is a really nice piece of meat here, and it's going to be really good because they grain feed those deer, so they don't just eat acorns and everything else. They're eating some really good stuff. So with that, we are going to be going down to our board. Now what I'm going to do today is we're going to make it baked. Now there's a lot of different recipes out there for doing venison backstraps. Many times what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll slice them into medallions, and then I will cook them in sauteed in butter. Today though, however, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using breadcrumbs. We're going to be using an injectable marinade. We're going to have a couple eggs in the process. We're going to do an egg wash. We're going to bread it. We're going to inject it, and we're going to then bake it. So stick with us today and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're going to turn our camera down towards our board, and we got a couple eggs here. And what we're going to be doing is taking our egg and creating an egg wash. Now you notice I got a little bit of shell in there, and that happens every once in a while. But if you take the eggshell, you can grab out the old eggshell. So it takes care of that right easily. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of water, and then we're going to make our egg wash. Now this doesn't have to be like super fancy or anything, but just kind of think like anytime you make an egg wash, or if you're making like say French toast. Last week I made some Monte Cristo sandwiches. Those turned out really well. And instead of milk, at that point I used heavy cream for my egg wash. Just adds more flavor and a little bit more oomph to it. So there we go. We're going to take our breadcrumbs. We're going to add them to our bowl. Now you can measure this out if you wanted to, and it'll probably be right about a cup. So that's about what I have in there, is about a cup of the breadcrumbs. Now these are seasoned breadcrumb. These are Italian seasoned breadcrumb, but you could use ones that aren't. We're going to take our venison. And oh, isn't that a nice piece of meat? I mean, look at that, folks. Not any fat, no silver skin, been completely trimmed up. Beautiful, beautiful piece of meat. So we're going to put that into our egg wash. And make sure you coat it really well. We're going to put it in our breadcrumbs. Get that all patted and coated. What that does is this is going to create a seal, so that when this is cooking, it's going to seal up and be really just delicious. So with that, we're going to set that on my little pan over here. Let me set these off to the side. My sink, get my hands a quick rinse. Those of you who watch my show regularly know I wash my hands frequently. I'm doing it constantly the entire time. We're going to get rid of the board because that's got stuff on it. Set this right here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using this Tony Chacherea's injectable stuff. It is a very good marinade. I use it for a lot of different things, and it just works really, really well. And it lasts a long time. I mean, depending on how much of the stuff you cook, but I don't marinate a whole lot with injectable stuff. But anytime I'm doing a roast, I use it. If I'm doing chicken, roast chicken, it just adds so much flavor. But I use a different style of that. It's a butter kind. So with that, we're just going to go around our meat and see how that injects in so nicely. This is going to add just tremendous amounts of flavor. Okay, so with that, we're going to take this, we're going to put it in our oven. I'm going to get my oven going. We're going to have it at 375. We're going to run it for 20 minutes. We're going to take it out. We're going to let it rest for 10 minutes before we slice it up. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, there you go, folks. You can see what I got going on here. That's my oven. Now I use the convection portion of this, and I did set it to 375 and turned it on, and it's coming up to heat now. So when that comes up to heat, we're going to put our meat inside there. We're going to cook it for 20 minutes. We'll bring it out, let it rest for 10 minutes, and it's going to be just delicious. Okay, our timer just went off, so we're going to go ahead and stop our timer. We're going to turn our oven off, and there is our nice venison loin. Now we're going to take that out of the oven. And so I've got it on a nice wire rack. We're going to let this cool. We're going to let this cool for 10 minutes, and then we're going to cut into it and let all the juices go back inside this. It's going to be just absolutely delicious. Be right back. Thanks, folks, for watching. Okay, folks. Well, we've let it rest. So now the meat is rested, and we're going to go ahead and slice it. Now, I like to slice this on a nice angle, and it just gives a nice little look to the meat. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, this is just beautiful, beautiful steak. So I highly recommend, if you need to have any deer processed, or if you want to buy any venison from up in that area, get a hold of Mark Welpley. Again, he does a really good job on cutting up the meat, and like I say, this is coming off of a deer farm. So we're going to go ahead and plate this. And oh, this is just, if you could just smell what I'm smelling here, just beautiful. Just beautiful. There we go. So there we are, folks. Thank you for watching. You can add a little bit of salt to the top of that if you'd like. You could also make a hunter sauce. I do that every so often too, to put over top of it, but this meat just looks so good. I think just a little bit of salt and be perfect. So thanks for watching. See you soon.